Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you, wherever you are, whatever time it is when you listen to this. Welcome to my channel. I'm Fifth Degree, but you can call me Fifth. Okay, y'all. So, um, I feel inclined to remind everyone, right? We have quite a bit going on out in the atmosphere with the parade of the planets. Most of them, in case you missed the analogy, is what it's given is four planets that is going the opposite way of some of the other planets. So what it is that'll be happening, right, is there will be a lot of um, intersecting essences. One of the things it is that I'm going to do for the reading, though, right, is we're going to see exactly what the different situations were that would have taken place, right? We're going to be utilizing my deck, the Deviant Moon. I love this deck. It has such rich culture and heritage, and the colors are so, oh, just amazing, right? But we're going to be using the Deviant Moon deck to see what it is, like the deviant emotions and things of that nature. Now, when I use this particular deck, some people just like it for the purposes of it being, just a different type of deck, right? And the rich culture and the graphics on it, right? However, in addition to it, yeah, I split the deck in. This is what's up there. Got another deck, so some anxiety that'll come into place with some different situations, right, in regards to what it is that will be projected, right? So there's that portion. The other portion of it, right, is within the deviant way of doing things. How it is that people get when you intentionally misinterpret something. Basically, is kind of what I'm getting from it, right? Yeah, because that's what Saturn is really dealing with. I was sitting and thinking about it, and it was one of those. This is dealing with the Deviant Moon, because the Deviant Moon deck has been wanting to come out, right? So we're going to do it in a couple different ways. For the alchemical aspect, for those who are alchemists, we're going to be talking about it in that regard. But we're going to read it, what you see, right? And what it is you would need to alchemicalize, right? So Ace of Wands, right? In the reverse, not having a passionate new beginning in regards to a few different things. Some of the other stuff it is that'll be going on. What is given is the deviant way of doing things when one isn't having a passionate new beginning. That's what that's gonna be about. That's one part of it. The other part of it, yeah, is and isn't having a child. Yeah, but it'll be about like business and things of that nature. Okay, verbiage is something that's really coming into place with this a whole lot, because what has a tendency to happen is we forget that words have multiple meanings, and that speaks to the vibration in which you would be watching or paying attention. So if you're in your lower vibrations, or if you're clearing out, whatever, what have you, if you're in your lower vibrations, right, it'll be uh, different things that you need to clear out your root chakra. Mid vibration, it'll be things that you need to clear out of your heart chakra. High vibration, yeah, all of doesn't matter which one it is, because if you're clearing your mind out, right, if you're doing crown chakra healing or third eye chakra healing, right, is going to funnel through. That's the beautiful thing about healing. Yeah, you can kind of get addicted to it, because you'll get to start seeing, the matrix. Yeah, you'll be able to see what it is that will be going on. Oh my goodness, we have 4 minutes already. My word. Anything else? But not having a passion in the beginning, and the incoming aspect of what it is that will be going on with not having a child and being a child. Not getting pregnant, not being pregnant. Yeah, a person being anxious about what it is that would have been projected. The other thing I feel in the call, what it is to answer a call, right? Yeah, because what's been happening is you keep hearing, about different calls and making calls and communications and things of that nature. And a deviant way of doing things, a call would be a person saying your name out loud. And if you're essence sensitive enough to respond to a person just saying your name out loud, yeah, you'll be amazed how often it is that it happens, especially with us intuitive. Sometimes we're fully aware of it, other times we're not, right? Some people may not be. Ace of Cups, reverse. So I feel like somebody's trying to control the reading. I'm not gonna go to that. But we got Ace of Wands and Ace of Cups, the different anything else. Okay, now everything want to come out. Queen of Swords is the overall essence and a deviant and different way of doing things with Queen of Swords, right? Notice she has two of them, right? This been coming up a whole lot with the Queen of Swords essence and being paired with multiple ideas, right? This is giving the whole ideas aspect and the directness that could come within one cutting. I'm hearing cutting blood from a turnip. What it is to cut blood from a turnip. Beet juice. What I'm getting from it is something about beet juice and the whole Beetlejuice. How you just say his name out loud and Beetlejuice, Candyman, all that. And that's typically an energetic situation that goes on, right, with people. Now, one card that came face down, that means you're going to have to do a little bit of work to figure it out what it is that's going to be pertaining to, because it's something that needs to be uncovered. But it's important for us to know about it because we have what goes on within there not being a passion in the beginning. For some of it, it's going to be about last month. But not having a passion in the beginning in regards to not loving themselves, right? Not loving themselves, not having self-love. But it's some stuff that is coming as an influence as to why it is that will go on. Part one, part two. With the alchemicalization, it'll be a passion in the beginning. Within there being self-love. The moan, the emotions, what it is that will be projected. Or not projected, what it is. I'm saying projected, but what it is that will be hidden. And within this being the deviant, just because you feel something doesn't mean you have to do it. You have to actually do it. Is a lot of times what that boils down to. Part one, part two. I also noticed, right, that with this particular moon, how the moon can puppet when you're controlled by the moon or you're ruled by your emotions. And the influence that comes into place with Chariot is giving passion. It's giving a whole crime of passion and all this other stuff that can come into place with passion and being passionate. So, yeah, and I'm saying it because this Chariot is coming. Cancer essence, high vibrational Cancer essence, the influence of victory, police, firefighters, investigators, all those different types of situations, right? That's part of the influence, right? That's why it is that one with at first sight, right? Yeah, with why they wouldn't have had a passion in the beginning last month. If a person is under investigation, within a person being under investigation, so some of this shit is gonna be about the cold cases. Cold cases and code cases. COLD cases and CODE cases, right? And within this influence, it'll be about the Emperor. So we got the Emperor, Four of Wands, Six of Cups reverse, Knight of Wands reverse, Six of Pentacles upright, King of Cups reverse, Page of Cups reverse, Hermit upright. What's going on with why it is one would have had a passion in the beginning in regards to a lot of things and not loving themselves, the direct way of it being is because there would have been this emperor mindset, Aries. It'll be about, no, because it would be giving it whole, if it's all in your head. Yeah, I was hearing Nelly. It's all in my head. I think about it over and over again. I can't keep picturing you again. And it hurts so bad. One of the things that you can get over that with is by healing whatever it is. Healing whatever it is that will be bothering you. And even in regards to that, yeah, because what it's giving, real spill, what it's giving is in one's mind not having a passion in the beginning and not loving themselves. It'll be because of the thoughts it is that they will be having. Part one, part two. If you're talking about social media to any capacity, yeah, you could think anything. I would say this all the time when I was on social media, right? Where you can write and stuff. You can say and think whatever you want to, but what's more important is the morality in the situation and what you actually do, right? So it's that part. Yeah, because the Emperor in this Aries aspect, they're out of the community of, they be out of the soul tribe and not be a spiritual connection as an impulse due to reciprocation. And then the manipulation within one not being friends and looking inside themselves. Now, you know what is given in a childlike essence within one not being puppeted? Yeah, it's one of those, you're not my friend no more. That's what that boils down to. You're not my friend no more. You're not a part of my soul tribe no more. You're not a part of whatever, what have you, in one's mind. Yeah, yeah, because with the deviant way of doing things on social media, yeah, when you don't deal with a person on social media to any capacity, I don't know who this is for. You got some people who feel like, oh, okay, since you're not my friend on social media, you're not my friend in real life. Or if they block you on social media, yeah, that's the part that comes into place with dealing with social media as a basis for everything it is that you do and not ever really anchoring things, right? So you got Aries, you got Pisces or Cancer, and well, Pisces and Cancer, right? In the highest vibrations. If you're watching this for business and you got Virgo, right? If you're watching this for business, the deviants that are coming to place is when a person is higher vibratory, what do they make happen, right? Yeah, because in this regard, it's one of those, if a person would have took their pills, if they would have took their medicines, their medications, however that comes into place or not, okay? Yeah, and whenever they don't have their medications, is what they're given, then they're not really all that open to it. Now, what will be coming in, though, right, will be a community of, I just heard a community of spiritual leaders. It will be a community of spiritual leaders, but it would also be a community of soulmates, soul tribe. If you really interpret it, soulmate, soul tribe, soul friends, right, that realistically wouldn't have to be puppeted into being friends with you. That's that portion. The other part of it is with it, and it would be just a form of inspiration. Yeah, the appreciation that comes into place with reciprocation. And then again, the doing of love and emotions with them being a friend, being more open to a friendship portion. Okay, so it's that part. Now with these different situations, when a person is puppeted by the moon, and it is first and foremost you have to see, compare and contrast what you see as being different. Because what this is looking like is it's not no kids, um, or what goes on with the children aspect and with a child loving themselves versus what it looks like when an adult loves themselves. Hmm. I just heard talking that good shit. Well, that would mean that you would be sapiosexual. So you wouldn't constitute as the normal heterosexual person who gets stimulated simply by appearance. It'll be about what the conversation is like. And that would be considered a deviant way of doing things, especially, yeah, considering that sapiosexual when you identify yourself as sapiosexual, demisexual, pansexual, yeah, transsexual, bisexual, when you're a part of the alphabet community, for lack of a better phrase. uh, it'll automatically qualify you as being a part of that community because you have a different, I heard this erotic ritual. You definitely do have a different way of bringing about orgasm, is all that means. Different way of bringing about orgasm. Some people can even do it. I knew that there was like some people can even do it with meditation. So yeah, so the mental, and that would be a part of the mental instabilities that'll come into place. So Neptune is currently in retrograde. Okay, is Neptune in retrograde? I want to say it is, but Neptune dealing with projections, film, fashion, uh, let me see what else. Film, fashion, projections, deep soul connections, psychic gifts and abilities. And the irony that comes into place with it is Uranus deals with psychic abilities as well. Psychic abilities and predictions. Yeah. So when we speak about different things, or when we would speak about different things, people, it's one of those what it is that you would have saw. With the victory that would have came in Neptune and Virgo and Aries. Yeah, the influence of the investigations and things of that nature that would have came with how it is some things would have been organized as the head. How you get things together in your mind, or how one would get things together in their mind. Cause in that regard, it's I'm hearing the Heather Headley song. In my mind, I'll always be his lady. So, yeah, in a deviant way of doing things, if a person who's no longer in your life, right, male or female, uh, always feels a particular type of devotion to you or loyalty to you. Now, here's good that comes in place with the devotion portion, right? If, what are they're devoted to, if, in this regard, them being devoted for the sake of finances and financial gain. That's the only reason why they're devoted to you. And it's coming through the third house. That's the house of Gemini, doing what you feel, what you know, all of that other stuff. For some people, it may even be what it is that would have taken place in your third house, right? If you have multiple properties, that'll be something that you want to pay attention to. But this is realistically one not having a passion in the beginning with the emperor person, the head, right, in the third house, and their ideas. Okay, so the ideal, and now for the love portion, if you dated a person who, yeah, who has a, you like particular qualities, type, you like particular qualities in an individual. No, because what it's given is some, a lot of people always say that they want somebody devoted and, yeah, and trustworthy and honest and all this other shit, right? Excuse me. But the reality would be that they don't, what they, yeah, they'll put up with a lot of different behaviors. Now, in regards to this, the idealization of methods for the healing power of your willpower and your ideas. In short, you gotta really get into, in this projection aspect, what ideals it was that you would have had to heal yourself and to be able to withstand how certain things will be a stain on your willpower and what you think willpower is. What you think willpower is or will be. Okay. Let's see. You're in the spiritual aspect. If this comes in a reverse, then it's going to be talking about the God that's associated with it. And the upright is definitely going to be the goddess, right? You'll be amazed how many people don't want to acknowledge that a person really has God or goddess qualities. And it's, especially if you like, yeah, because being a magician, not being a magician or a mage or anything like that, but when you're in your God and goddess essence, when you're creating, 44 is set, surrender. So what it is to surrender to your ideas, surrender to the flow with the influence of your willpower, knowing a person has cosmic power. This both of these is two. It's two people in each one. That's that Gemini essence, that lover essence that comes into place with things. Lisa. Yeah, and realistically, what is given to be in control of, be in control of your world, control your thoughts. Okay, Medusa, rage. Okay, so what this is realistically in the numerical aspect is 44 to 23, right? But the healing that comes into place, the divine healing, the work, all that comes into place with being stable and practical and how it is you collect information. Part one. Part two, how you shift and change things. Teachable, feeling safe. Feeling safe in the garden and with a book. And that's another four. So we got four. We got three fours that came up. For some people, it's gonna be about working too hard on the ideas. Other people, right? It's gonna be in regards to being protected, and you know where you fit on this spectrum. You know where you fit on the spectrum. Now, the mental aspect of it is confusion regarding the analyzing of what you think you know about short-term thinking and trips. In the mental aspect, yeah, you'll be amazed as to what it is that will happen when confusion sets in and what the purpose of confusion is. It's given in confusion in the nature of the person. Now, I'm not even gonna lie. If you have Neptune in either Virgo or Aries, If it's in Virgo, what'll be projected from the Virgo aspect is the mutable madness, right? And the reactionary fixer portion. If it's in Aries, then it's going to be about as a reaction, right? And then it would be confusing with what it is that would have taken place, with how it is things would have been picked apart, right? Yeah, because with Virgo essence, I personally have learned they do better when they come to themselves and they just do what they have to. Yeah, within themselves because it helps them clarify a lot of shit stuff. And they don't. And I just heard the intuition being blocked. If the intuition is being blocked, that's because you weren't using it. If you don't use it, you lose it. Yeah, something else that I'm getting from it is the telepathic communication that comes into place with yeah, because a person would have, oh no, because a person would have been watching. They would have been watching and they would have been, yeah, and that would be the fear that a person would have been watching. And within the person watching, what it is that would have been going on, yeah, because it's getting down a rabbit hole too. Within a person watching what it is that would have been going on, what they would have done is they would have intentionally put a projection to puppet a person. Emotional intelligence is something that I'm really picking up on in regards to this. What would be incoming is loving without condition, but it being a conditional love, not unconditional love, a space, conditional love in the third house. Within that confusion regarding the short term thinking and trips, it's conditions on it. Or worse yet, it'll be about with them, yeah, the hatred that'll come into place with a person having unconditional love. I used to say this all the time. Yeah, it's not unconditional love. With certain stuff, it'll be unconditional tolerance. It'll be unconditional tolerance. Yeah, that's not love because you're not loving yourself and you're not loving another person when you do that kind of stuff. You're not. You're not growing. You're supposed to grow with the person that you're with. So whoever this is for, right? Yeah, whoever this is for, whatever this is in regards to, even in the rage, right? That's about you knowing how to redirect yourself. I suggest anger management. It helps a lot. It really does. Are all these, if these is in the reverse, okay, no, they're not all in the reverse. And yeah, with this confusion regarding seek the lesson, you didn't learn your lesson in a deviant way of doing things. It's supposed to show you what it is that you need to heal. So even though you may be in a creative aspect, yeah, you have to creatively heal. The stuff 2844 when I said that creatively heal, right? Or you're supposed to heal through the creations that you have because you clearing it out, getting the stuff done, and it's out your system, so you don't have to really trip off of it no more after this. Respect your boundaries. 33. It be in one's nature to respect their boundaries. And over the overall essence of seek the lesson, one not learning a lesson in the nature of things. Okay? Yeah, one not learning their lesson with what they thought they knew about a person's makeup. I saw how a person would have been trying to do beauty spells. Why y'all like this? Why you all like this? Don't be like that, y'all. Yeah, don't be like this. Don't be like this. Cause that's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, because even as a tradition, it, yeah, it's supposed to be that if you use moon essence, that it's supposed to heighten it. That ain't what happens all the time. Everything is always boiled down to your intentions. So with the whole beauty spell aspect and all, yeah, because beauty spell and glamour, yeah, y'all trying. Let's get into see what this other portion of it is. So sacrifice resulting from the perfectionism of do it your own way and who or what is around you. Yeah, and the sacrifice stuff that y'all been having going on. And one night and the assistance that will be coming in, right? For the alchemical aspects, but it's also the stuff it is that would have happened 5 years ago. Sacrifice resulting from the perfectionism of do it your own way. Yeah, how something wouldn't have anything left to offer you. And when someone doesn't, when you using a person to drained all of the possibilities, drained all of the opportunities. And when it's intended that a person would think that it would only be this one particular person who would do everything, and it's one of those, nah, it's the other way around. I remember I did at one point send a text message, right? And it was during a counseling session. I was able to hear everything that was going on with the individual. I have a tendency to do this. I could hear and see everything it is that's going on with the individual. And the question was asked, well, why are you here or whatever, what have you? And I had to let them know, ultimately within the questioning, I'm the stronger one. So I don't necessarily have to be there, but I can hear everything it is that you're talking about. And yeah, sometimes it happens when all it takes is for me to get quiet, to have quiet, right? I heard you could astral project. I don't necessarily say, it could constitute as astral projection, but that's realistically being clairaudio, not necessarily clairvoyant. Because clairaudio, you can hear things in real time. Clairvoyance is a bigger spectrum, right? For some, it's about people who can see things as it's actually happening. Like when you go into a trance, yeah, and because I want to say the right eye is Cancer and the left eye is Libra. So, yeah, you can have what constitutes as double vision. Nine of Cups, wishes being fulfilled, within one not winning at all costs. Anything else? Yeah, the tradition of a wish fulfillment. And that was 3322. Within one not being with impatience, not having the virtue of temperance. Temperance or temperament. And not being, yeah, and the wish fulfillment of one not being an alchemist. Oh, that is well, what you think you know about wish fulfillment, pregnancy, or September, uh, drinking 9 cups, being an alcoholic, and that would constitute them as being what this is given. It wouldn't constitute them as being an alchemist. They did not alchemicalize what needs to be done due to impatience. The incoming angelic help is kind of what I'm getting from it. Within sacrifice resulting from the perfectionism. of one being impatient. How a person would try to, how a person would accommodate. It's about the accommodations. Within one not being committed and traditional in, with the influence of Sagittarius. In short, it's like when you apply what you know from other experiences and what doesn't fit, you don't force it. It's basically, that's what comes into place with it. What you think you know about doing it your own way, right? Can you handle sharing the reins? That's what it's about. I'm saying reins like if you on a horse, right? And two people have to do it, and because what was coming to me is let the two become one. That was from a reading that I did a while ago. But within letting the two become one, right? It's one of those. Okay, when a person, I didn't say what you allowed to. If a person has to do what one person says in the entirety, it could cause issues and there could be losses with them doing exactly what this one person tells them to. But when you're taking the care of another individual, right? You have to listen to how it is that they would need for things to go with them. So it could be successful all the way around. Okay, so it's that Three of Wands, the tradition of waiting and one not being committed. With the influence of strength, and then one being able to go on another day with King of Pentacles. The Wounded Warrior and King of Pentacles, and what would be revealed about the strategy of one's fortune being in the upright. With this wish fulfillment, the deviant, because it was always about the deviant or different way of doing things. But did you really do things differently? That's where this karma is coming from. Did you really do anything different? Or did you do things the exact same way that you always have? Now, within this whole wish fulfillment, however it comes into place, within this wish fulfillment, it would have been about what it is that would have been hidden. And the Lilith aspect, that's the one thing we keep forgetting about with Lilith. That's why that Medusa, in essence, comes into place. You got to draw boundaries. A person can't just drain you. Boundaries have to be in place within there being a strategy and there being some sneakiness or a person trying to rob a person of what it is they already got. When a person trying to take everything from you in the tradition, and if you could spot it right then and there, okay? So, as a summary, right, a lot of the different things it is you got going on is because what's going on with the moon, and if you know how to respect boundaries and what it is that will be happening with when the taking away from a person opposed to the giving to a person. Okay. From whoever. Everybody done showed up in these varying situations. And it all being a mess. So it's the whole messy, the deviant way of doing things, it'd be about the whole messy magic. Messy, it's called messy magic amongst us, but chaos. But how well do you handle and balance chaos? And with the person that you're partnered with, how well it is they handle chaos. Are they the one instituting it? Are they the one receiving it? Are they the one alchemicalizing it? You gotta know about all that, okay? All right, so lighten up to y'all, okay? Hi, love. See y'all later. Cause see, remember, light work, it ain't light work. It is not light work.